we have a brand new chair of PEDCO. So PEDCO is the name, not a half cent for job recruitment. It's the Pueblo Economic Development Corporation. John Oliver did a great piece about all of these. Essentially, we only have $100 million here as a city. We cannot give Amazon or Tesla or any of these major companies a substantial amount of money that would compete with any other cities. So our $10 million is our parks and our fire departments and our police and the basic, the water department. So you take $10 million and you just give that to Express Scripts. You take $10 million and you just handed it off to some private corporation like Express Scripts, who took our $10 million and they invested in phones and internet and computers, and then once they sold out, they took all their shit and went home. That could have been ours. We could have invested in an improved local economy and growing roster of employer prospects, found PEDCO members in a festive mood at the group's annual meeting Wednesday afternoon. This is by Dennis Darrow of the Pueblo Chieftain, December 6, 2017. Andrew Traynor. Andrew Traynor is now the leader of PEDCO, and what did he say? He said some bullshit, of course, right? They're politicians. They're all the same. They're all the same. So he says that the coming year, the main focus is to go after Pueblo's detractors. And so he goes, whether they live in Pueblo or elsewhere, we got a great community. As a chairman, I just want to foster a better attitude, a better narrative about our community. It starts internally and also externally. Andrew Traynor didn't say shit about getting and building a homeless shelter, of which Pueblo City has none, because these Christians don't. Chair Brian Moore, the former chair of St. Mary Corwin Medical Center, gave a review of the group's accomplishments over the past year that included helping to negotiate the creation of about 250 jobs. The group, funded largely by membership dues, also aired a television advertising campaign in the Denver area that touted Pueblo's offerings. There's a strategic planning review. Strategic planning. So watch out. Andrew Trayning's got some strategic planning coming your way. It's not just regular planning. This shit's strategic. And maybe even tactical. But definitely strategic, we know, so far. And then the results are going to be released at the group's next quarterly meeting. Are these meetings public? 1 or 2 job announcements are also possible by year's end. Also, 100 members and guests attended the annual meeting and holiday mixer that took place at Pueblo Community College. So a nice little private hors d'oeuvre with the fucking media to come by and see what they're up to. That's at Pueblo Community College, so good for the Pueblo Community College, right? Good for them for hosting this thing. The presenters, Steve Barron, some guy, and he said blah, blah, blah. Then you had Patty Javek, president of the community college, reviewed the recent blah, blah, blah. And then you had Traynor was elected. Dominic Galena was the vice president of the Bank of San Juan. Andrew Lang, chief of operations at TR Toppers. And then Reg Rudolph, chief executive at San Isabel Electric. So we got big electric in there. And we got big government, big banks. Make sure we got our big bank. Our big banks are totally represented. Andrew Traynor is from the Legacy Bank. Bank is the Dennis Flores. He's the advisor to U.S. Bank. And you also have Legacy Bank, who is the head of PEDCO. Now, the president of PEDCO is also something with Legacy Bank. He is best friends. He is, I think, him and Legacy Bank are lovers. He's the regional president. Okay, there's no conflict of interest there. What are you working on? Oh, shit for Pueblo City. You're not sure that it's for the bank, right? You're 100. You're not helping Legacy Bank out. I know you're the regional president, but while short of the 500 jobs, they're talking about a 10-year extension and expansion at Dulles Aviation, major expansion of Grady's food service and equipment supplies. So you can do food services, just no grocery stores for the elderly, right? Fuck the elderly Puebloan people. That's what PEDCO. That's Andrew Traynor's stance. And then he wants to sit there talking about the detractors. I think having a good attitude is important, but I think also a accurate prognosis and accurate analysis of the problems on the ground is important too. You're going to try to solve the problems without even knowing the problems. Your solutions are going to fucking suck, and they're going to be out in right field. So you need to know what the exact problems are, then we can go from there. So the companies offered a combined 3,800 jobs that are currently showing an interest. So might give them a shit ton of money, as the Pueblo steel mill, which is owned by the Russians. So we're going to go ahead and give the Russians our entire bank. That's what PEDCO is all about, just giving Pueblo City's treasure straight to the Russians' pockets. And then maybe a 700-worker solar factory. We're not going to develop ourselves, right? It takes silicone, and it is quantum mechanics, and it takes the solar, and then you got to capture those electrons. So it's all about engineering and silicone. That's what the solar factories are from. That means Pueblo City, we can figure out how to create our own fucking solar factory, but instead, they're going to give, $500 million expansion. How much of that $500 million is going to come out of your damn pockets? And it's for this solar factory coming out of India. It's some undisclosed India company. So we need the corporate executives. We need corporate executives out of India to organize our raw materials and our intelligent people. We can't do. Very disappointed. The only thing that they could brag about was 250 jobs. They said they was going to get us 500 jobs, so we're spending fucking billions of dollars, or millions of dollars at least, right, for PEDCO. And what the fuck do we got to show for it? 250 jobs, so good for those people who got 250 jobs. I'm sure you had to be connected to, Andrew Trainer and all the people like him and his family and his friends. That's who got taken care of the spoil system. And did those 250 people, did they turn around and, invest in a homeless shelter? Oops. No, they didn't. They actually probably went and protested it, right? Lake Avenue. Everybody protested the fucking homeless shelter. Yeah, we care, but we're kind of fake Christians. We're real fake. We say we're Christians, so we feel good, but we're really shitty and evil people who turn their back on the homeless and the cold. This is Andrew Trainer. Andrew Trainer's not going to change poverty or homelessness. He's not going to change any of the actual structural elements. What he might do is say, hey, stop criticizing